must look forward to being used. Enjoy bidding adieu, adieu. Every word I have saved for you came out wrong afterwards, so I spoke no more. Would you say that someone who had every intention to be brave was a coward? Must be great being you, power comes as second nature. Must feel amazing to be longed for, longed for. My open, cemented excuses to my lash line
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we all doing? Alrighty, we're gonna wait about 3 minutes or so for one of our commentators to hop in here. And then we will begin. So we'll be running best of 5 today, just to kind of maximize the experience and practice that you all get out of this. So, for those of you who are very new, do you need any explanations on rules of the M&S variety? You all know the, You got it, Mikan. You are all set. You all know the rules about declaring if you're staying or swapping characters after each game? So blind pick is on. You will not be able to see who your opponent is picking. And then after the game is over, after someone's second card has been broken, the winner of that game must declare whether they're staying as that character or swapping characters, and then whoever lost will declare whether they're staying or swapping. And you also must declare what character you're swapping to. Alright, Oki. You will still have to declare that you're staying as your character, though. But it's more of a, formality than anything else, honestly. It won't matter too much. So I guess before we start, do a little bit of introductions here. My name is Verz. I'm relatively new to the community, like June, July, something like that. Running these little bi-weekly things. They're called Super Spell Sundays. The format changes every week, or every other week, so every other week you're getting something different. Every other Sunday, besides mine, is Mothfans, and he runs a tournament called Awakening the Maiden, which is like a higher level kind of tournament. That's where you're gonna find the real sauce right there. Korai also occasionally does tournaments, mostly on Saturdays. I've just run a couple of beginner tournaments recently, but those are more on and off tournaments. But we have a fairly regular competitive scene on weekends, especially. And aside from that, the community's really been picking up recently, so as people I'm sure keep saying, if you want games, then don't be afraid to ping. not just an Axum cameo, an Axum commentary. Hello, Axum. Welcome to the booth. Say something.
Oh wait, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, well, thanks for having me on short notice. Sorry I'm a bit late.
It's alright. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, I can't participate, so I'm making the rare cameo commentary appearance.
It's good to have you. We will be running best of 5 today, as we only have 5 participants.
That's probably a good idea, yeah. Okay. I was going to say either that or a double, but I think either works for extending.
So are you ready to jump into it?
I think so, yeah.
Alrighty. So, first up, we are going to have Celie versus AltDimSum. And we're going to attempt to stream every match, since there will only be 10 rounds.
Makes sense. We usually get around that much from a standard bracket.
Yeah. So give me just a second to get things set up, you two. And whenever you two are ready, you may begin.
Okay, so I know ADS usually plays depth, and Celie does various characters, so I'm not sure what matchup we'll see.
I'm curious, because ADS does have the experience lead on Celie, but he hasn't been playing for a hot minute. Celie has been on the absolute warpath of the grind here.
Let's see, immediately starting with some walling. That's a good sign.
Depth and Storm. How is this matchup, honestly? I feel like I don't really see it that often.
I played it more from the Storm side, but it does feel pretty tough for Depth. I think maybe once it gets to mid-walls, Depth has more of a chance to apply some pressure, but there's always the threat of Storm just using Flash Step to evade that one moment. So it can be tricky.
ADS doing a very good job of cap microing these Storm Ball setups. We are at mid-walls already. Oh. The player's doing a fantastic job of being incredibly evasive.
Yeah, ADS finding good moments to use the Jellycat to, or the Speed Burst from it to get past a layer of the wall. Just enough so that they can find safe passage before that invulnerability wears off.
Great flash step to avoid the shotgun.
Oh yeah, the release timing on the Jellycat gets me every time. I pressed it. I swear I pressed it. But you have to release the button first.
Release the button. It's like that with Lich that throws me off all the time.
Oh, Flower too. Yeah.
So if any of the new players would like an explanation of kind of what these characters do too, I'm not sure who you all play, but if you're curious about the game plans of with these two, it's kind of just this. You want to outlast your opponent and set up, well, setups, checkmates if you will, where your opponent cannot escape or they have to burn defensive to get out, which puts you in an even better position.
Yeah, both these are checkmate characters, so it's often a matter of who can get the checkmate first. And if you can get your opponent to use their defensive special before you do, then you kind of have that window to seal the deal before it comes back up.
unfortunate double bonk there.
Yeah, it was a good path through, just went a little bit too far. Such a big basic. This is a good wall. We'll probably force out a Jellycat, yep.
And a melee.
And rush in for a melee. Interesting. Yeah, normally Storm doesn't want to get too close because Shotgun's still a threat at those closer ranges, but if you can find a good moment to catch Death off guard, sometimes it can work.
Yeah, for sure. Very unexpected. I feel like Storm does such a good job of not letting Depth get her angles for proper bubble setups.
Yeah, and even if there's one like really good X-axis bubble, she can always flash step out of it, so
Yeah.
that can be tricky. Storm does have the agency to just get past the bubble on a short notice that not a lot of characters have. Normally, if you're in the back corner and there's a giant death basic barreling towards you, there's not really much you can do unless you have high move speed or your defensive special is up. But flash step is kind of like both of those in one. You get a defensive special and you can move across the screen, so a rapid reversal, so to speak.
Triple shotgun coming out. Interesting.
Yeah, sometimes that can be good to make Storm back up a bit. Although there's always the risk of not being in a good position to escape the walls afterwards. You have to be judicious. Oh, Jellycat blocking that shotgun. Good circle around. Oh, I gets hit by a tap basic though. Unfortunate. Oh, looks like a hole might open up there, yeah.
The wall has been broken, and Depth has an opportunity here.
I'd say parting the Red Sea, but this is green depth, so that doesn't work.
Jellycat is going to get out. Oh, shotgun will catch the approach. And both of these players at one heart, one card. The very last hit. Oh, the invuln from Jellycat.
Just not quite enough. Okay, good close game one. Lots of back and forth. It looks like Celia's going random. Okay. I don't know if that first pick was random or...
We know the radius of the circle. Big. It is that. All of the circles in this game are either tiny or absolutely massive. There's no in between. Speaking of tiny and massive, we have a sun on the field.
Sun Death, this one's interesting too.
I think you have to be very careful throwing out bubble, because the slowdown on it will make it harder to escape basic. I don't know how easy it is for Depth to actually escape basic, but it feels like she's just so slow.
She does have to be careful about when she presses buttons. If you commit at the wrong time and there's already a basic on top of you, you might not be able to escape in that case, so... It's kind of an extension of, you know, Frost not being able to turret for long, but even a single button press for Death can slow her down quite a bit, and she's already kind of slow moving to begin with, as a default speed. So yeah, definitely has to be careful about when to commit.
He is not willing to commit too much to micro these wides and diamonds. He's in a relatively bad position.
Gets through some of the waves, but a little bit too much pressure there. Okay.
Good opportunity to run through all of Sun's options there for a shotgun. Dispel is also off the field, which gives ADS the advantage.
A good window, yeah. Against characters like Sun and Hood playing as Depth, you kind of have to expect that you'll be forcing a DS before you get a hit.
Spell comes out. Diamonds are once again out. Probably see another use of Jellycat or a bomb.
Yeah, they're almost out. They're probably confident they can make it through. And with a bit of adjustment, that would have been safe, I think. I know too often the pain of bonking on the last wave of diamonds after she's already stopped casting, so...
They're a menace, that's for sure.
Oh, I guess they got tippered by the basic there. That was very close. Okay.
And Celie's up 2-0.
Random Sun a second time.
Alright.
Well, this gives ADS something to get used to.
That's true. That's one thing about fighting Sun is you either learn to micro or you die.
Yeah. Sun and Hood are very dodge heavy. So even though they're not rated highly like a high level play, it's definitely a learning process fighting against them. Oh, a trade.
Not sure that was worth it for ADS, but we'll see if they can capitalize on it. Oh.
Yeah, it can be tricky. Like Jellycat can be good for just eliminating a moment of pressure and rushing in, but then if Sun uses Dispel, then Def doesn't have her option to speed back up, which puts her at risk of those breakfast combos. So you have to balance the temptation of going in with Jellycat and not succumbing to the slowdown setups. Not the easiest balance to strike.
Breakfast combos may look tasty, but you may regret it afterwards. That will be a 3-0 Celie here.
Yes, well done to Celie for doing a 3-1 random. That's pretty good. Yeah, Sun's a very different matchup for Depth.
I do not think Macbeth has checked in. Let me just...
They are in the lobby. So presumably they're around.
I cannot start the tournament or report scores until Beth checks it.
Oh, right. Okay, we'll just have to remember. I'll type that in.
Okay. Awesome. We're back.
Oh, good, good.
Alright, next we have Okikurumi649 versus MikansBox.
I don't think I've seen either of these two play, so this will be a total mystery for me as far as characters go.
Likewise. Rather looking forward to it. Wyrm and a Wyrm. Interesting.
The character portraits were indeed a preview. Yes, that's Stormwide versus Wormwide. Matchup where everyone's movement is checked at all times.
Yep.
Well, that said, we haven't been seeing any rapid fire bonks on wide quite yet, so that's probably a good sign.
This is a matchup I think I've only seen a handful of times, and all from random. I don't know if anybody willingly plays this one.
Oh, I've played it more from the Storm side, I think. It's a little tricky for Storm because Wyrm has the second fastest move speed in the game, so she's not the easiest to pin down with walls. Although I guess due to her fast speed, she might be more punishable with wides at the same time. I'm not sure. It kind of depends on how well Wyrm can navigate around all those. But that said, if Storm does get a good wall going, then it can be difficult for Wyrm to escape because her DS kind of locks her in place and doesn't really have the mobility needed to get past walls. So playing from the Wyrm side, usually you want to be playing pretty close to Storm so that she can't set up walls from across the screen, because by the time those are developed, you're probably taking a hit as Wyrm.
Barely dodging these wides from Wyrm.
These last second adjustments, so tense.
One wide is one of the moves in this video game. I hate it with a passion.
It's a move that exists in this game, yes.
It's really good though. Especially against faster characters. Like Hood, for instance.
Yeah, Hood has that very natural feeling interval between firing basics, which is like the exact distance that Wormwide punishes. It can be frustrating learning that, but you kind of have to unlearn your usual habits playing as Hood, it's true. Yeah, no hits at all yet, actually. Oh, and of course, soon as I say that, commentator curse.
And second hit
coming
out from Nobi Fire.
I think Storm maybe hadn't released the basic yet, so they couldn't use Flash Step in time.
And another wide. Oh, Oki and Mikan are friends. That's okay. So they know each other and they get to play each other round one. Awesome.
Oh, okay. They probably sparred together a bunch already then. That would explain what seems like some matchup experience here. There's the Stormwide punish on the more aggressive movement, but responded back with a laser.
It's definitely within melee range there. I think Mikan could have hit them with a charge basic. Just focusing on wide movement.
Yeah, it looks like they've been going for more of a hybrid style. Occasionally going for walls, but occasionally doing more like tap basic-y stuff. That can perhaps catch Oki off guard a bit more, but it also means that with less walling, there's less pressure on Oki to move in close.
Right, which means more opportunities.
That was some good basic dodging by Mikan there. Not the easiest thing to focus on your own pressure as Storm while dodging those fans.
For sure. Too fast for their own good. Great microing through those by Oki.
Okay, this is good positioning to set up walls, but easy to get a bit nervous about all those wides and basics flying around.
Yeah, the invoke from Nobi Fire just barely lasted long enough to avoid those basics.
Oh, it doesn't get the flash step out in time. So nobody fire scores a hit.
Why as well? If we can turn this one around. All we need is one good hit. Oh. And storm wide.
Alright, looks like they're both staying.
The notorious wide.
Notorious WID.
From both of these characters, really. Flash step avoiding the Novi fire, both defensive zone cooldown.
Backpedal's a little bit too much. Well, that's a good start to a wall. But since those bottom two are mid-charge, a hole opens up. Yeah, they'll get past. Is that a wide hit? I think so.
So it's too early on the Novi fire. Involved from the hit. Unless it was too good.
Motion position is just inside the laser. While charging the basic. Use the flash step to escape the corner, now trying to set up walls, but gets caught up between the edges of two lasers, I guess.
Smoky is a huge fan of the triple laser. Triple rapid fire laser. We'll say.
Oh yeah, they
No
had.
spacing between them.
Mhm.
But it seems to be working out okay so far.
It's good if you think your opponent's going to like slow walk past them toward a wall, and you can try to angle the third one so it covers the wall and they have to double back.
Let's see.
That's usually a technique that's more useful toward against the slow moving characters. But depending on how your opponent is moving, it could work perhaps even here. Yeah, it seems like Mikan's trying to get walls set up, but is worried about the lasers and stuff that come out when they're trying to set up like second pair. They wind up having to disengage a lot.
Storm's got mad slowdown when she releases charge basic, right? For a short
Yeah,
time.
it's very slow when she's charging, and then there's a like an in the middle speed when she releases, but before she regains her full default speed. So it's like this 3-gear shift that you have to get used to.
Laser partially concealing the basic that Oki gets it back.
Classic Wyrm shenanigans, hiding her own projectiles. Mikan probably unsure whether to go up or down, and that moment of hesitation made them take a hit. It's a Kenshin moment. Oh, and that was almost like a hood moment. Like, I'm gonna stop here and fire my basic, but that's exactly where wide was targeted. It can happen to Storm too.
Yeah, with any character.
That was a good pair of tap basics though. Probably wasn't expecting that exact angle. Sometimes the tap basic vector can be seemingly a little weird. Oh yes, it is best of 5, so at least one more game. And they're still staying.
It's nice seeing a Storm and Wyrm, two characters that don't get a whole lot of representation, especially at the beginner skill level.
That's true actually. Off the cuff, it's hard to think of any beginner Wyrm players in the last few we've had. And, I mean, beginner players are often advised not to use Storm or Depth starting out, so... But it's nice to see the occasional player just ignoring that and playing the character they want to play. That's always fine.
Absolutely. It's hard to be successful with a character if you're not having fun with them.
Yeah, that's totally true. And you shouldn't deny yourself playing the character you want. just because they're hard to use, or seen as such. I think where Mikan's getting hit a lot is when they disengage from the initial walling, the follow-up movement is getting caught out by wide a lot. I think if they're able to tighten that up a bit, they can disengage more safely and then try to follow up with something. But finding the right intervals to travel can be tricky against Wyrm wide.
Alright, these two fronts are at 2-2, which I suspect is exactly what they wanted.
Always nice to see a game 5.
Ooh.
Oh, we got a pattern cancel. And Wyrm is sitting inside a held basic on my screen.
We can do a restart if you both would like. Oh, they're playing it out. Alright.
It's like they were testing the connection. I guess it's okay now. We can always offer. I'll type it in chat.
You know, in all honesty, I think Pattern Error might be the best character in the game.
You never can expect it.
Truly. Hesitating a little bit too much on that movement. Enough to avoid the wides, but not the basic.
Oh, it's a good flash step to evade the final laser, realizing it was too close to the wall. I think Mikan's being a bit more careful about their movement after trying to escape from the laser setups. That's good.
Alrighty. Good job, Mikan. We've taken that one 3-2. Restart.
It seems they were okay with it, even despite the network issues, so I guess we'll keep the score. Was that a 3-2? Well played by both.
It was a 3-2. That was well played by both. Alright, so before we start round 2, take a very, very, very brief intermission.
Okay.
I need more jelly beans. So
Jelly cat flavor.
I'll be right back.
Why so down tonight? Just another day that didn't go your way. Well, don't you make a side. Just take my hand, don't toss and turn. Let's
Alright, just looking through the chat here. Yeah, I agree that Wyrm can be harder to play as you move up because her pressure gets better the closer she is to her opponent, but that also means you have to dodge your opponent's pressure closer up, which is going to be harder. So playing her well at high level can actually take a lot of focus. But I guess at the beginner level, people aren't necessarily as used to finding the right intervals to dodge wide while applying their own pressure, and also dealing with all the little combinations that Wyrm has, like basic laser and stuff like that, and trying to space out the triple lasers so they don't get forced against the wall.
Get. Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Alrighty. We will be starting round 2. Our first match will be AltDimSum versus Okikurumi649.
The one downside of a small pool for Round Robin that you might be up twice in a row, at least once. But bear with it.
Simply how it's gotta be for now. Give me one moment.
Right?
Yes. Alright.
Alright, good to go?
All set. Thank you for your patience.
Please wait warmly, as it were.
Alright, depth and Wyrm.
Depth Wyrm, definitely a test of patience for depth.
She is slow enough. Never mind. I say she's slow enough to make it easier to dodge wide, but this may not be the case.
That is true, but she has to already be moving when wide comes out. If Wyrm uses wide right before depth starts circle strafing, then she's probably going to blank on the first shot.
I see.
So it can be a little cat and mouse sometimes, trying to find that moment when you can start moving safely, and then you just try to maintain your movement. But there are other times you don't want to circle strafe just because it would put you in a worse position, so definitely some judgment required there. Okay, good awareness using the Jellycat to escape Nubi Fire. You pretty much want to hold onto that against Wyrm in 99% of cases, in my opinion. Because even if you get a hit with Jellycat, Wyrm can usually just run up and revenge Nubi Fire you, so that aspect of the matchup can be a little funny.
Makes checkmates a lot harder.
Yes, yeah, so at least when I play this matchup as depth, I'm often trying to patiently wait until mid walls and not bonk too much. That's not to say you can't get hits before then, but I think it's important not to overextend as depth, especially in certain matchups. And this would probably be one. It's also difficult to pull off more than like 2 shotguns because of laser. I think if you fire the first shotgun when Wyrm's doing the first laser, you can move just enough out of the way to do a second one, if I recall. Although Jay would be the expert on this. But I think beyond that, you're usually just pushing your luck, unless you think the subsequent shotgun is going to hit before the laser does. Oh, that was a good shotgun follow-up.
It was.
Moved a little too much.
And
Oh yeah,
cooldowns.
I think they have the same cooldown. I forget.
It looked like it.
So I don't think Wyrm can cheese that difference like she can in other matchups, like versus Sun, for instance. Which makes me wish that Roll had the same cooldown as Shotgun, but alas. My answer to that is just don't play Frost into depth.
That seems to be the general consensus.
Okay, Jellycat down to alleviate some pressure. I don't know if Wookie's going to rush in or just continue applying pressure. Looks like they're content, playing from afar for now. Oh, rushes into a depth wide, that can be tricky. Always have to watch for that. So many times I think I stop moving before the depth wide comes out, but you have to stop moving like twice as early as you think you do.
Yes, definitely more content to play the long game here.
Now lasers do take up more space as the walls close in, or a greater percentage of the remaining space, I should say. So that can be tricky to deal with. Ooh, very narrow dodge. Shotgun responded by Newbie Fire, responded by Jellycat, all very close.
That could have been disastrous for either of them.
Indeed. Okay, oh, that was a good weight on the third laser, so it didn't push against the wall.
It's a good bubble too. No dice on that one.
Let's see. Making good use of wide to fill the space in between basics. Oh, that's going to be dicey, yeah. Newbie Fire can sometimes get you out of those situations, but if Depth is timing her shotgun delays appropriately, then she can catch you right as you're exiting the Newbie Fire, so that can be a tough situation sometimes. Oh, and the expansion getting okay a couple of times. Like, I've suffered playing Frost into Depth so many times, I feel like I just have this intuitive sense of how much those are going to expand most of the time, but it can be easy to underestimate.
For sure. Overestimating it can also be disastrous.
Oh yes, then you get caught by a wide or Jellycat or whatever else is. Usually it's that one stray wide, right? That was fired like 10 minutes ago.
Yep. So I will say about ADS, their adaptability is very, very strong. They've always been an incredibly adaptable player and able to pick up on things extremely quickly. And this is
they tend to...
still proving to be true. What was that?
Yeah, they tend to learn after like the first card of the first game, adapting to their opponent. It's good to see. And it's something you're going to have to do is depth a lot in order to reach the end game that you typically want.
Did we just get scam botted in chat? Oh, no way.
Scam bots? Oh no.
We made it!
Okay, ADS understanding they can use default move speed there. Didn't need to use the Jellycat. Good awareness.
He seems to be playing a little bit more aggressively, whether it's out of pressure or impatience, that remains to be seen. Good Novi Fire avoiding the bubble. Great taking on that.
Well timed, well timed. Oh no, the release timing. Always feels bad. Actually, it feels worse when you're not even tapping it. Like, if you tap it, and that happens, like, okay, well, I just, committed to it too late. But when you're charging it and that happens, that feels even worse. It's like, oh, I could have let go just a little earlier.
It's the game sliding. Ooh,
Oh, those could be painful too. It's like, why is that still there? Not quite a sun basic, but that can still happen.
ADS is spacing out their positioning very well, especially in between the wides as well. Seems to be working out for them.
Yeah, if Oki had a heart lead there, something they could have done is just tank the hit on Jellycat and then just rush in for Revenge and Refire. But because they were down in hearts, they had to use it defensively to escape. Actually, I think they were on the last heart, so...
Which of those
Forced
two
to play.
characters has the strong... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so forced to play defensively there.
Which of these two characters has the strongest endgame? It's depth, 100%.
I would say depth, yeah. It can actually be pretty tough for Wyrm if depth is dodging everything.
Laser is nice at endgame, but wide becomes almost hilariously ineffective. There are some angles that you can still catch at, but... Yes,
What I will say though, is that at mid walls, it's easier for Wyrm to play it close. And so the intervals for dodging like Wyrm wide become a lot tighter. And if you get that timing right before depth starts moving, you can get some cheeky hits there. And of course, if neither player takes a hit, or if like Wyrm's at a hard advantage by the time you get to mid walls, then you can definitely start to see some of that Revenge Novi Fire shenanigans that you can also see versus Lich.
Just damage rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jellycat. Alright. ADS is up 2-0 currently.
Oh yeah, it's so much harder to keep track of what the game count is when I'm commentating. Just trust our players are also keeping track. Oh yeah, something you have to be careful about is not pressing basic like right after a laser is trained on you. It's usually not too big a deal as long as you're careful, but
Second or third laser will mess you up though.
yeah.
So that size increase is scary.
Oh, I think that could have been avoidable if Oki just moved a little bit earlier, but sometimes it's hard to recognize in advance, like, oh, this is going to be a bad situation. I need to move.
Laser's gonna take ADS's first blow. Immediate Novi Fire. Such a
ADS is ready.
out here. Yep. New. Shot.
I think both players are generally playing it well. ADS knows they have to play patiently because Wyrm has the move speed to escape a lot of setups. That would be harder for other characters, and Oki's trying to catch ADS at the right time, so like when they're opening with a basic or right before they start moving against a wide. So it'll probably come down to a lot of the smaller details as the walls close in.
Both players have really started to notice the gaps in their opponent's pressure here, and have been able to capitalize on that.
I think something ADS could have done for that Nubi Fire is press basic right after Jellycat, because they would have maintained the movement speed, but the basic probably would have been at the right place to score a hit once Nubi Fire went down. And of course, in classic Eminence commentary forum, in the time it takes me to explain that, we're already like how much further into the match.
It's so hard to commentate this game.
It is. It was easier when I was doing the new gen with Max, because they kind of took the lead, and I could kind of bounce off of that and fill it in. But Max is both a very experienced player and commentator, so it's easy to riff off of that, I guess.
Hey, there's that stray wide that was shot 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
Last hit, last card for both of them. That was really good laser pressure, keeping ADS from moving up to fill in the gap for the Jellycat.
Denying the positioning, that's true.
And Oki's going to take that one. And the score is 2-1. Still ADS favor, but Oki definitely proving that they can pull this off.
That's that's how you know using shotgun correctly. They have that confidence that it's just going to hit first. And that was a pretty close Wyrm basic too. Oh yeah, definitely the danger of using Jellycat before Nubi fires out.
Good timing and positioning from Oki. Point blank wide. Gets the revenge hit though.
Tricky dodge past the laser basic combo, but still in. I feel like APS is trying to move toward the edge of the fan to, in anticipation of the laser. But then the wide comes out and there's like this little gap. That was a moment. That was like Frost Hood gameplay right there. Nobody pressing buttons for 5 seconds.
I could do this, but am I gonna?
Oh, it's like that Frost mirror meme. Oh, what was I saying?
Oh.
So yeah, when you're trying to dodge, when you're anticipating a laser, and so moving to the edge of the basic fans, that's when wide can get you. Because sometimes there'll be this really narrow gap between a wide and the basic that's actually at the edge of the fan. And I think ADS has been getting tripped up on that on occasion. But this is also why it's important to mix up your offenses, Wyrm, based on what you think your opponent is expecting. Are they expecting like the basic laser combo or like a laser wide?
Definitely a more based character.
Oh, a little late on bursting the basics, so Wyrm is able to escape there. Oh, goes for the third shotgun. Unfortunately, by the time you use a third shot against Wyrm, usually the combination of the direction lock and Wyrm just having a high move speed means she's probably already out of the way. But I'll be the first to admit that sometimes a cheeky shotgun is exactly what your opponent is not expecting in the moment, so it can work.
It may not be the best option, but it's still an option.
Oh, very narrow dodge in that point-blank shotgun. And in the ensuing confusion, gets a hit with wide.
Wyrm wide, baby. Steals your credit card information on hit.
Oh, it gets tagged just by the edge of the laser. Oh, but it gets a basic expansion hit. Okay. Well, one minor mistake for another.
He has very zeroed
Okay,
in.
gonna be a setup coming up here.
Oh, bubble. Great timing on the bubble pop there.
Yeah, I think what Oki maybe has to do there is just run up a bit more preemptively, so they get a bit better positioning on Nobi Fire versus the Jellycat. And it'll be like a bit further away from the expansion radius. But that's the thing, playing against depth is a lot of preemptive movement and anticipation. And that can take some time to build up.
Yeah, for sure. You can't be watching what she has on the screen, you have to be watching what it potentially could be.
Mhm.
And that takes a lot more brain power than a lot of other matchups.
It's like going through the gaps in Storm Basic Walls. You have to dodge what isn't there yet,
Yeah.
which is very different kind of dodging and tricky to do.
And ADS will clutch that one out. For a 3.
That was what, 3-1? Yeah. Good set, though.
Absolutely. Good work, Oki. That's a weird matchup, that's for sure. Catch up on chat a little bit. Yes, I do put a lot of effort into S3. I'm not proud of my commentary because it's not great. But
It's hard to do for this game, honestly.
it is. That's why
It is so hard.
I normally rely on my trained team of professionals. But
It's always easier, yeah, always easier with a co-casting partner, or 2 or 3.
let's see. Pretzels, yes, the Chivaro pretzels. I don't know what the hell were in those, but it worked out for them. All right. So next up, we will have Beth versus Celie.
Yeah, it looks like they're already on the mat, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, give me 2 seconds to set up the overlay here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are all set. Have Sun Hood.
Looks like Celie might still be doing random picks.
Here's
It's hard to tell, though, because they do basically play every character, I think.
You know, Beth does technically make Sun, although they will go from character to character.
Yeah, I think Sun and Storm are the most used, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen them, but nice to see some participation here.
This looks like it might be a little bit higher pick.
Yeah, we did have that moment earlier in the match.
We're seeing a little bit of jittering here.
A lot of tap basic hits there.
So we're going back to random here. That's staying on the sun.
When I was all gearing up to commentate the Hood Sun matchup. Although they could have rolled again.
The Hood matchup has always been kind of a frustration for some of the folk in the guild. Oh, but Sunstorm, this is a little bit better for Macbeth.
Yeah, this is tricky for Storm because Sun Basic can be pretty good at, if not shutting down, then discouraging the usual ease of walling that Storm has. So Storm either has to be a lot choosier about where to set up the charge basics, where to position herself, or do more of like a hybrid style, making use of melee basics and tap basics and stuff. So we'll see what they go for.
And Sun just fills up the screen with so much schmutz that it really abusing Storm's high mobility to hopefully get some bombs in.
A lot of micro to do, yeah. And so this is one of those matchups where sometimes you have to accept that Storm's default move speed is enough by itself. There are even sometimes you might be holding wide and focus at the same time, just to get through some tricky wide dodges and stuff. And there's also the question of how far away you play, because if you're playing from too far, you have to deal with diamond spam, and that's manageable, but it's definitely endurance dodging. Oh, is that a wide or basic hit?
Basic.
Staying a bit too close to the clone, maybe. Okay.
So is that 2?
And in the time it took me to explain some matchup basics, the game already ended. But yeah, that's what happens in M&S.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, looks like it is.
I picked.
Yeah. Oh, more depth stun then. Okay.
Huggy depth. Interesting.
Yeah, it's funny, when I play Sun into depth, normally I'm trying to like hug depth. So it's interesting to see a depth player pursue that like from the other side of the matchup.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have an opinion on it one way or the other yet, it's just funny to see. Oh, it's a cheeky opening shotgun.
Opening shotgun is so scary. Shotgun in general is just...
You have to respect it, yeah. Sometimes you'll even just backpedal at start.
Weaving through the wides there and a shotgun to the face.
Mm-hmm.
That will be a 3-0 from Celie.
One of Sun's weaknesses is just holding forward.
Fortunately, that is the case. Alright. We'll move on to round 3. We have Oki versus Macbeth. You have been getting a lot of matches, Oki. You've got one more as the second match of round 4, but this will be your second to last. The round robin works in mysterious ways. Alrighty, thank you for your patience. You two are all set. Wyrm. Alright. Max is in shambles right now.
So I guess the question is, are we going to see a lot of dead zone dancing, or are we going to play more of mid-range? Looks like they're just going in to start with.
This may
Okay,
be,
but more distance now.
This may be an extremely long match or an extremely short match. I don't think there will be an in-between.
Oh yeah, never want to be the first one to use Nuclear Fire. But now they are desynced, which could lead to interesting moments, but the match ends before we get to see it. Or the card ends before we get to see it.
Worm Dittos are the most high-intensity games of chicken that you'll ever see in your life.
I think Storm Mirror can be pretty funky also, but this is definitely up there too. A lot of close melee shots.
That was a very nice pivot basic, too.
Yeah, when you're playing the mirror in this way, it definitely helps to know like what exactly the dead zone is for like a basic, let's say. Which I think is basically at the tip of the aiming arrow, if I remember correctly. It's very similar to Frost's, if not the same.
Which worm is that? I think it was Oki's, correct?
Oh, which one was red? I'm already forgetting.
Oh yeah, it's hard to tell. Okay,
Red,
yes.
red was Oki. So you have to keep in mind what the dead zone is at the tip of the arrow there, and it's also the question of how much you, like to what degree you press focus before firing basic, because that'll affect the aim a bit. Honestly, it's difficult to play the dead zone dance in this matchup in a way that doesn't feel at least slightly random. Maybe there's a way at higher level to get more of a deterministic outcome from it, and I'm certainly not an expert at this matchup, so I'm not going to opine too authoritatively on this, but
If you're dedicated to hugging like this in the worm matchup, wides are not really going to do you any favors unless you can juke them long enough. It's mostly just a basic dance and lasers to cover a little bit of space.
if you think they're going to disengage or you think you can juke out, then the Y can work then. It's a lot of high stakes, high speed. I don't know if guesswork is the right word.
It's it's prayers. It's all prayers and luck.
Yeah.
Can you juke better than your opponent can juke? And if
This
you
is where
can't, you better pray you have a projectile out there.
This matchup is where M&S gets the faith tag on Steam.
Psychological horror.
Seeing a lot of close lasers too. I have to go back into practice mode and remind myself what the dead zone is on those. Because I think you can hover safely in like the start of it, but I forget exactly how much. Because I am seeing some such dodges here.
Where the laser turns a little bit lighter color, like towards
Oh,
the
like
right.
the internal color? Okay.
'Cause as Hood, you can just kind of hang out and start those lasers as they're coming out, and
I
Worms can't
see.
do a thing about it.
Oh no, no we fire.
Light show, yeah, it really is. Worms Ray Box.
Yeah, I guess there's the temptation that since you're doing all this stuff at close range, maybe your opponent can't react in time to the Novi fire, but chances are they can. So, not what I would advise.
It's quite slow.
Double, triple laser, yeah.
Wow. And Oki He just barely managing to clutch that one out. That will be a 3-0 of Yurumi. Well done. That was
Well, you have to congratulate Oki for consistently winning that one. Because, you know, from a spectator's point of view, it can often seem random, but it's a lot of moment-to-moment decision-making.
that was a lot of very good dodging from both sides for sure. Not easy to do. Mirror's the closest to get the Dragon Ball. Yeah, kinda. Just exchanging blows and hoping you do some damage. Alright. Second match of round 3. We have MikansBox versus AltDimSum.
Storm Death again. Idiots being very careful to stutter their movement, escaping from some of these welling setups, so they don't get caught out by a stray wide. And there's a gap opening here, some scary wide layering, but managed to get past it. And actually use a Jellycat to eat the wides that come in from the bottom.
That was a very good wall from Mikan.
Oh, that was dangerous. Getting a little close to clone there, but Jellycat's out. A chance for Mikan to set up some walling, but the basic is forcing to keep a bit of distance. ADS finding the gap there along the bottom. Oh, and a very aggressive flash step, but called out by Shotgun. Getting a backstab hit off of an expanding basic. Sometimes you're too focused on whether the next shotgun's coming out that you're afraid about what's behind you, so understandable. Oh, it moves a little bit too much, gets hit by Storm Wide there. It gets a good horizontal basic, good x-axis. Forces Slash to come out. Oh, almost calls out that aggressive flash step with a shotgun, but doesn't adjust the aim for long enough.
Bubble does Shotgun's job and punishes that approach.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this. Oh no, there's a gap. Yep, along the wall there. Oh, but it was a little bit too much into the wide. Yeah, you may see an opening, but you still have to be careful about how you move through it. Okay, flash stepping not quite as far. That's good. Don't want to get hit by shotgun when you do that. But it looks like not estimating the basic expansion is getting them a bit too much. Hopefully they can shore that up in the upcoming cards. Oh, it was a good tat basic. They try to punish escaping up, but ADS action was left. And then a tricky tat basic angle, I guess. It's ADS afterward.
Maneuvering around the wides, escaping that little wall there. Jellycat's out. Shotgun gets a hit.
Yeah, I think sometimes in Storm, if you're seeing a large horizontal death basic coming toward you, sometimes you do have to have the faith that you can escape without using flash step just by using it for wide move speed. But of course, if you do that, you do have to be careful about depth wide and shotgun on the way out. So you might wind up having to use flash step anyway, but sometimes it's a way to save flash step for that moment where you're trying to like get the right positioning to finish a walling scenario. Because Death is probably going to be denying that as much as they can with like repeat shotguns and stuff.
pickle here. Not the ideal spot for depth to be, but gets the hit, wall is gone, back to depth things.
I mean, Moonwalls does force Storm to play closer to depth, so it's not terrible, but there's maybe this inevitability that Storm will wall depth before depth will wall Storm. And just flash step out at the last second, you know, to secure the hit. I'm not sure if that's guaranteed, but there's definitely that tricky question of who gets their checkmates first once the walls close in. But based on my experience so far, I'd probably say Storm.
Interesting how much bubble obscures basic too. Makes it very hard to see.
Oh, that's true.
Basic. There have been a couple times where close range
very
basic is
narrow.
completely obscured by bubble and almost gets a hit.
Some very narrow escapes from EDS there. Very good. Oh yeah, that clone throw with the basic beneath, not quite out of the way. Pretty tricky. Oh, pathing up is going to be tricky there, but there is enough room to sidle past.
A little bit too much micro.
True. Seems like ADS is often content to play this like from the walls. I'm not sure that's the style that I would use, but they are finding good moments to escape and use Jellycat, so it seems to be working for them well enough so far. I feel like when I play from the depth side here, I'm usually trying to secure center screen more aggressively. But I'm not sure if that's like better or worse, or just the style that's comfy for me. I don't know, I'll have to play more of this. Ooh, very narrow basic dodge. And in the moment that you're confirming that you actually dodged it, then you have to worry about wide, so... Yeah, some good dodging though. Oh, that's gonna be a Jellycat moment, yep. Gets out though.
I find it really fun to watch these two players' adaptations to each other's adaptations. So ADS is finding different gaps in these and using very, very limited movement, and Mikan is taking the time to capitalize on that small movement and set up a little bit broader walls as well.
Maybe ADS was expecting another charge basic there. the off-screen basic expansion. Always have to remember where those are, even if they're past the wall. Oh, that was a good start to a wall. I feel like Mikan could be committing to a couple more charge basic pairs before they go for the tap basics. I feel like they're letting up a bit too early, and cracks in the walls are appearing. Oh, I think that may have been a flash set moment, yeah. It may seem like you can get past it before the next shot comes out, but the prior shot will linger against the wall. That was good awareness, getting that set up before it became a problem, because I think flash step was still down.
They're up 2-0 versus AltDimSum. ADS.
Oh, it is switching. Okay.
Characters. We'll see what
It is a
comes
tough
out.
matchup. It is a tough matchup for Death, so not entirely unsurprising.
Calling Green Hood. Oh, never mind.
Oh, doing Lich.
I'd like
Okay.
to apologize. Alrighty. Storm Lich. Oh, wide
So-
snipe already coming out.
Not the most common opening, honestly. Not the most common opening hit that you'd expect to see is what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
But Lich can definitely put a bunch of stuff on the screen, which means a lot more dodging for Storm. So we'll see how used to that Mikan is at this point. And of course, even with all that, Lich still has to be careful or thoughtful about flower usage. Because if you use one for space control, then you won't have one for escaping walling setups for another 10 seconds. So you have to be judicious. Right, and as the slowest character in the game, you also, in some cases, just have to be careful about those melee basics. You make sure you're choosing the right time to move away, and the right direction to move away, so you don't get tripped up by those. One of those matchups where, at least in part due to that, it's probably easier for Lich in low ping, because those melee mix-ups are going to be more reactable. I don't know what the ping is between these two, but it looks like they're playing a bit farther away anyway, so maybe it won't come into play.
They still seem fairly reactable.
Mm-hmm. Alright, ADS's butterflies have pretty good desyncing, which is probably going to make it harder for Storm to commit to charge basics consecutively. It's still not like impossible to do, but Storm definitely has to keep track of like the order of fire and what the positioning is.
That's very risky.
And it's easy like that to commit to a charge basic, and then on the release it's just a tricky Lich basic micro you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
Or a butterfly shot, rather. Or either. It could be either.
Lich basic may be small, but it has either a very small dead zone or like non-existent.
It's the sawed-off shotgun, honestly. I held it a bit too long. Yes, it is notable, of course, that although Flower can delete almost everything, it can't delete a Storm charge basic held in hand.
Really?
So that's something you want to keep in mind.
Interesting.
If Storm releases the basic, it'll get deleted, but if she doesn't, it won't. So
That's good to know. Alrighty. Start round 4 momentarily here. Alrighty, so we're going to have Mikan again versus Macbeth. Mikan, if you need a break, we can do Celie versus Oki first if you'd like. We're doing outstanding on time, so ready.
we're doing pretty well, yeah. Yeah, Javar would be proud doing best of 5 format and still doing well on time.
Alright. I'm curious to see Who the Beth is going to pick against Storm?
Would we perhaps see a Stormbearer?
It is Sun. All right.
Although, right, they do play Sun, so I guess that would be the more natural pick. So we'll see if Mikan can resist temptation and avoid all the waffles, tasty though they may be.
True.
Alright, goes in close to avoid the diamond, tap diamonds, that's good. I think that was a hit with, was that wide? Sometimes I'm so focused on the movement, I don't see what actually hits. Ah, tricky. Commits at the wrong time to a basic and gets caught inside Sunburst.
Sonny's has a special on pancakes today.
Oh, dodging up was definitely the trickier move there. I had to deal with a close diamond dodge.
Some interesting wide layering there. Beth getting caught up in there.
Yeah, that may have just been like unintentional. I'm trying to reposition. Oh, I got you with wide. Okay, I'll take it. That can happen with Storm. I'm not necessarily saying that was the case. Could be intentional, but I know playing a Storm myself, I've definitely scored those hits. Makes me feel a bit underhanded, you know.
If it works, it works. Intentionally eating the waffle there. Getting a revenge hit. We're back to 3-3. The spell is off the field. Another hit.
Yes, eating the waffle, but using the energy boost to score revenge.
One straight into the wide there.
This is a slugfest so far.
Last card.
Yeah,
last hit.
Mikan's getting better at.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. Mikan's getting better at navigating all of the wides. I think they're still getting caught out a bit by committing to a charge basic instead of Sunburst, but we'll see if they can adjust that also as we head into, what is it, game 2?
Game 2.
Yeah.
Okay, saying how scary Sun is, which for this matchup I have to agree.
It's funny to see like how the discussion changes between like beginner and expert level about which characters are scary or toxic or whatever. At expert level, typically you'll hear the whining about Storm and Lich, but at beginner level, understandably, it's often like Sun and Hood who are the dodge heavy characters to play against.
Takes a second there. Beth
Oh, we're seeing a
swapping
Wyrm switch.
Interesting.
With the immediate Wyrm wide opening.
Wondering if Macbeth is just looking for a straight damage race here.
That's how the games have been going so far. Maybe they figure Wyrm can do that more efficiently. Oh, that must have been a wide hit. Okay.
Caution has
Like that, with very aggressive movement. I think they might want to slow down just a little and focus on where Storm is firing. Oh, is that the last one?
That was 3.
I see. Yeah, Wyrm aggressive movement can be very intimidating, but you do still have to pay attention to where your opponent's bullets are going. Kind of like playing Frost against Hood. You can try to be aggressive and hug Hood, but you still have to be careful about where those tap base again goes are going to come. So finding the right balance between aggression and reservation can be tricky.
We're going to take another very short intermission. We'll be back
Alrighty.
to our regularly scheduled programming in just a few moments here. See Lich coming out from Celie. Interesting.
Lich Wyrm. Okay, so curious whether Celie will employ a flowerless style? It looks like maybe they are.
You can Conquest was a good game. I will not hear any Conquest then. I have not seen a flower yet. Never mind.
Yep, that was in response to the newbie fire, so classic flowerless Lich. Celie has clearly been studying up on Lich styles. That's good to see.
Plenty of time
Oh,
to
after-
charge up. Big flower.
Yeah, I guess they opted for one there because they saw an opportunity to get a larger one. Yeah, so I think if Oki wants to use Nobi Fires against this style, they'll have to try to space them out for a little farther away. Otherwise, it's too easy for Lich to place a flower on top of you. There are cases where if Lich is closer to a corner, you can try to get them with like the edge of it, so that it's not as easy for Lich to just run up and flower you. But it can be a tricky style to deal with as Wyrm.
Sure.
You wind up having to either play very close and use like basic fan mix-ups, or camping the endgame and using like lasers and revenge fires and stuff. It's funny. It's like there's two very different ways Lich can play it, and there's two very different ways that Wyrm can play it.
Laser does seem like a very good tool against Lich, but you have to be focusing on not dying first too, and your other coverage is just not ideal. We're seeing the huggy death once again.
Okay, good awareness of Jellycat. Oh, a trade.
That is a trade that Oki will take.
Oh, good. That was, I guess, a day 6 setup. See, they're not using any heads there, but sometimes the little paws can throw off your dodge time, so understandable. Oh,
He
well
does
timed.
manage to dodge the big bubble. Shotgun will clean up afterwards.
Yeah, maybe swinging around the top side of that basic was the safer routing. Yeah, so they're playing this closer than I normally would, which is kind of scary to watch, but probably also kind of scary for Wyrm. Because you have to constantly be wary of whether shotgun will come out.
Wyrm seems super scary up close, but her melee is suboptimal sometimes, especially if there's a character like Depth that just has, well, better close range options, honestly. Would you say Wyrm is more of a mid-range character? Because she relies so much on positioning, both hers and her opponents.
I think I basically agree with Max that Wyrm's offense is the best the closer up you are, but this also makes it harder for her to dodge. So sometimes you'll hang out in mid-range to catch your breath a little bit. For the next round of dodging you'll have to do, to like play up close. Because without playing up close, there's typically a way that you can dodge it. You can play like mid-range and just try to produce as many close shaves as possible, and kind of wear down your opponent's endurance. Kind of like what Frost can do, turning a lot of basic combinations.
Oh, I see.
But if you can get used to dodging at close range, then it'll definitely benefit your offense's Wyrm, I think.
Seeing a swap to Arc here.
This matchup. It can be so tricky for Arc. Not unwinnable, of course, but there's a lot of brute forcey stuff that Wyrm can do with no fire mix-ups at close range. But it looks like Oki isn't playing too aggressively up close. Maybe because they don't want to dodge arc wide up close, which would be understandable. Good positioning for that Novi fire, but Celie's ready, uses the clock.
It's an incredibly well-timed clock.
It was really last second, but
Yeah.
it often is. It often is. Like the startups are similar enough that if you're doing it on reaction, it's going to be like almost the same time. But that was more of an anticipatory clock. Saw that one coming. Trying to zigzag past those lasers, but gets caught at the edge. Yeah, something that's tricky as Arc is sometimes you want to wiggle around while holding wide to get those stutter step shenanigans to make the wide pattern trickier. But then you're wiggling around trying to like dodge Wyrm basic, and that's definitely harder to dodge when you're wailing around. So it's sometimes it can feel like a little push your luck thing. Like how much more confusing do I want to make my wide pressure? While at the same time, how much harder do I want to make my own dodging? Celie doing a good job moving only as much as needed to get around the lasers, so they're not getting caught up by wides typically. Alright, scores a wide hit. Alright, we're using the invuln to stack up some pressure in the corner, lands a hit with that. Now we're back to more of a neutral state. Oh.
Debuff stack on Oki.
Yeah, but Confuse is nice to get. It gives you usually a breather from laser for a few seconds. I do wonder if Celie could be using a few more debuffs, especially when Wyrm is going for those horizontal lasers. Usually you can get like maybe one off and then move to dodge the laser. Because honestly, I feel like any debuff you can get on Wyrm will alleviate at least a little bit of the pressure that you usually have to deal with.
Be in not the greatest spot right now. Death Toll, Toxic, and Moon all coming down at the same time.
Oh,
Very
I think they-
quick rearts.
I think they maybe thought there's a gap between Moon and the wall, but not quite.
Thank you, Royal Arcanist. Very cool. And that will be 2-1, Celie's lead. Celie swapping to Frost.
Yeah, well done to Celie. That's not an easy matchup to play as Arc, for sure. I'd probably say it's Arc's worst, to be honest.
That kind of makes sense. So the Frost Wyrm matchup is also kind of interesting. You can just, well, do you want to talk about the matchup for a second, Axel? Seeing as you play the character. But...
I played this so many times from the Frost side in tournament. I played a bit from the Wyrm side also, but it's just funny. It's one of those matchups I might have the most experience in, just because I've seen it so many times. But opinions differ on this one. Like some think Frost has a significant advantage. Like going so far as to call it like a mirror match where Frost is like the better version of the character. And, to be fair, there are some similarities between the basic pressure. You could argue both characters kind of have Stormtrooper rain.
Yeah.
You can throw their basics forever and nothing will hit. Personally, I think it's more or less even, or at least close enough to it.
How do you feel about the corner camping strat for Frost in this matchup?
From the Frost point of view,
Shit, the corner micro.
I mean, if you're Javaro, that can probably work. Because Javaro's dodging is actually really good. But I think when I'm playing it, I try not to go too far into the corner. Because it just means I have less room to dodge if I want to get out of the way of something. So usually
I more room to back in the corner if another fire comes out too.
Yeah, that's true also. Of course, you always have Sunwave as a failsafe. but the timing for that is tricky enough that you don't necessarily want to push that. You know, if you can create a situation that you can just walk or roll out of it, that's usually best. Oh, Celie does get the parry that time.
Celia's hit the timing twice
Very
now.
nice.
Or,
Oh, is it the second time? Yeah.
50% success rate on those.
Alright, still good to see.
All right.
Maybe one.
Success
Yeah,
rate's
I mean,
going
if
up.
you're, honestly, if you're going to roll in like that, you have to be prepared to nail that timing, so that's good. Oh, and I think they were maybe actually going for an actual stun there, but and it's Wyrm who reacts with no fire, but Celie is able to roll out in time. What I think about whether Frost maybe has a slight advantage, the fact that she has multiple ways to get away from no fire could be one reason. Because even if she commits to one of those options, she can use the other. Like if Wyrm reacts to the first with no fire. But in the end, it's a lot of dodging endurance for both characters, I think.
That will be that. Celie takes it 3-1 over Oki.
And I apologize, I was talking so much about like the matchup basics, I wasn't even commentating the match for that game.
Okay, so Macbeth has forfeited their last match. They're gonna go eat tacos. Which honestly, more power to you.
Taco Sunday, I see.
Taco Sunday. Alright, so the last match of the day will be MikansBox versus Celie again. Tacos are worth it. Well, it depends on the tacos, but usually. Alrighty. And we are set. Let's see if it confirms the character that they will use.
Which character has Celie not played yet? Was that
I believe it's been
is that Hood?
Are we gonna
That's what I
see a
thought.
green? Are we gonna see a green Hood? By any chance? Oh. Well.
The Storm Mirror. Okay, we'll see if we can even follow this one. Celie's on Pikachu Storm. Okay. Always interesting to see how much the players go for walling versus tap basic in this matchup, because I feel like if you go for charge basic, the other storm can kind of just circle around you and then charge basic you. But if you do get into a wall battle and you get the upper hand, it can be kind of hard for the other storm to escape, maybe, although there is flash step to consider.
Yes, Celie has been a little bit more wall heavy, which has also allowed them to dodge wides a little bit easier.
Yeah, it means they're not moving as much, that's true. Alright, that's a good full height wall. Oh, he uses flash step, it just holds it a bit too long. Bonks before the release window. Okay. I think that may have actually just been unintentional, backpedaling away. I apologize if I say that, and any of those are actually intentional hits. It's just I've done so many of those myself, I feel like I can kind of call them out. To a degree.
Just the old 10-minute setup. Works on storms too. Alrighty, and Celie will take the first game. Celie swapping to Wyrm.
Yes, Celie color matching, going from Yellow Storm to Wyrm. I guess unless they do Alt Wyrm. Yeah, something that's important playing Wyrm against Storm is not allowing Storm to set up like a full height wall against you. I may have already mentioned this, because we've seen this matchup a few times now. But I think Celie is understanding that they have to advance in some situations, so that they don't get into those walling scenarios where it's hard to escape. But as you're advancing, you do have to be careful about Storm wide, as ever. So we'll see if they can adjust their movement just enough so they can still advance without taking any bonks on the way.
This really is the widest matchup in the game.
Well, they start the flash step. I don't know if they hold it too long or if the tap timing was just a bit too late. Good awareness though, they did see it coming.
This tap flash step gives you a surprising amount of invul, doesn't it?
Yeah, considering that doesn't actually move you forward at all, it can still be pretty useful because wherever your destination is, you kind of do like this mini bomb that clears bullets around you, and also gives you a bit of invul. So, although there are definitely times I overestimate how much invul it gives you, and I feel like I could travel far enough to escape something, and I can't. Yeah, I think Mikan's having a bit of a hard time weaving through the fans with all these speed changes that Storm has to go through, charging and releasing basics. It can be tricky to get used to, especially if Wyrm is like playing up really close.
Really returning to random.
Alright, Arc Storm for potentially the last game. The defensive clock to get around some of that basic pressure, but probably would have been good to toss out a couple of debuffs while that was ticking down. It can kind of be like the Wyrm matchup in that any debuff you land can make the walling pressure just a bit less tricky to deal with.
Does Confuse affect Storm wide?
I don't think it affects wide, but it will affect the basics, which will definitely alleviate the walling pressure. And of course, for that reason, mini is also good. Because with smaller basics, you're probably not getting walled. And for Storm's part, trying to find a good walling angle without getting debuffed to death is a tricky proposition itself. Sometimes it's worth setting up a wall, knowing you'll get debuffed, because it'll be hard for Arc to escape it. But you also have to keep in mind that Arc can throw out a defensive clock, so there's some risk-taking estimation on Storm's part, I think. But how aggressively you're going to pursue a particular walling setup before disengaging. Ooh. Narrowly jukes out of the way of that clock. But good awareness. Oh, I think we might want to go to that corner before it gets too dicey, yeah.
Very good navigation of Storm's Charge basics coming out from Celie as well.
Oh, that was a pretty smartly positioned defensive clock, actually. If they had gotten to the edge a bit earlier, those wides might have scored a hit. Oh, no, no.
This is exactly where Storm does not want to be.
You want to be careful about your movement here, yeah. By the time you get to this point in the match... Oh, did that... I thought they got caught by clock, but I guess it was just clone. Totally faked out.
Confused, that will be debilitating enough.
Yeah, Paralyze can be tricky because Storm already has like 3 different speeds when charging at basics. So when you add the Paralyze ticks on top of that, it can be very tricky to make sure you weren't like in front of an oncoming wide at the wrong time. But yeah, I mean, endgame against Arc, you have to be careful to not be at the center when Moon's up a cooldown. So it's a lot of oscillating between left and right wall and trying to deal with the fact that Arc knows you're going to be doing that. So Arc would be trying to plug the gaps with basics and stuff. Be tricky. But very well played by all of our contestants today.
Absolutely.
Some good sets.
It was a lot of fun to watch. And thank you all for playing today. You know? Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming out all. I know I'm not your regularly scheduled Javaro, but I tried to fill the air.
I know I appreciate it, that's for sure. I can't solo commentate worth anything, so thank you.
It's clear for this game, it's too much.
Yeah. Did anybody want to get some practice games in before we close up? I'm gonna keep the lobby open for a little bit. Yeah, anyone that wants to join up and play some games, you're more than welcome to. A little after party sort of deal, I suppose. Axum, would you like to stick around as well?
Well, I might hang around for a bit.
Strange input lag on my controller.
Input lag in the lobby? That's weird.
Yeah. Huh. Would you like to play against Ica?
Oh, we're shooting a bonus match?
We may as well.
Alright, let's see. See if there's any matchup they'd like to play. Otherwise, I'll just go random. I don't think I've played against Ica before, but I've seen them around. Pinging for matches in the past couple months, maybe? Oh, we have a Sun Mirror. Well, this will be interesting.
Thanks for stopping by, Mika and Oki. Thanks for playing.
Now, I'm not very used to this mirror yet, but I don't know how well I can commentate it and play at the same time, but I will try.
Alright, I'm gonna need you to say the alphabet backwards.
Oh no, oh no. You definitely need to have a awareness of what kind of basic combinations Sun's using when they're going to come out, because you don't want to I mean, as is always the case against Sun, you don't want to overcommit when you're inside of the basic. And of course, if the two Suns ever get into Diamond battle territory, that can be very silly.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Sun Mirror is honestly one of the most fun to watch. In my opinion.
It's a fun one. I agree. Just try to charge in to avoid that diamond.
Yeah, I think first round robin. Well, yeah, I think that honestly, like, as a format for like beginner level play, I don't know. I kind of like it better than just your standard double elimination things, because then you don't have to worry about getting knocked out early. You just
I agree with
play your
yeah.
matches.
And you get to play against more people too.
Yeah, it's more exposure to all sorts of different characters, play styles. It's nice. I'd like to do another one soon, but we do have to change up the format, of course.
Yeah, I got a little greedy with my diamonds there. Had to DS out. Oh, did I wait until you were able to spectate?
Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, you're in. Okay. I'm realizing I totally didn't check whether you had joined or not. Okay, well, I'll just hit rematch, I guess. Oh no, I'll go to character select. I'll just do random and showcase different characters. Oh, green hood.
Wait, what? Oh! Sorry, caught me off guard. You made me choke on a jelly bean, but it was all worth it. For those of you watching, and for those of you who don't know, Greenwood is the best character in the game. Definitely.
Yes, this is the Sun Shower matchup.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I'm totally using the post-it invulnerability to cheese my way past those diamond layers. Oops. Okay, gotta pay attention here. Ah, close call. Oops, I think I pressed Y too early there. Didn't get my speed back. Ah, and that's a delay. The diamond there. Dodge. So if you're playing Hood far from the sun, you do have to be prepared to dodge those diamonds. If you don't want to dodge a diamond, then you can try playing more like a mid-range game. But then you have to be careful, like there, about dodging the waffle layers close up. Oops, yep. Took a nibble of another one there. Oh, I tried to rush you at the wrong moment. Okay, let's try to play a bit more safely here. Set up some post-it criminality there. Oh, a bit too antsy there.
Let's go green. Best color.
Of course, I should probably stop being stubborn and just use Vanish when I have to.
Honestly, I've kind of taken a page out of Javaro's book when it comes to Vanish. Like, if you have to burn Vanish, then you're not dodging good enough.
That sounds like the Javaro answer, yes, for sure.
I've been experimenting with more offensive Vanish kunai placements.
Oh, those can definitely be good in some matchups, yeah.
Yeah, might start using offensive Vanish more if I can just dodge better and knock some rust off. Sun melee is good, but you have to space out the basics right if you're in melee range. The really good against slower characters, like Lich and Depth, although you don't necessarily want to be standing on top of either of them if they have DS up. So it's more situational than anything, I think. You mind if I hop in here after this one?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll do this one, then I'll hop out.
I enjoy playing against some. Need to work on micro anyway.
Oh, the depth. Yep, if you hang out close to me at Marin's start, I'll probably shotgun, so... Oh wait, and now I'm talking too much and I forgot my mission. Alright, I'll use... Alright.
You've been playing a lot of Depth recently, haven't you?
A fair amount, yeah. Oh, okay. I'm glad the shotgun got ahead of that Jellycat. Aw, they ran away in time. Okay. Gotta respect the back pedal. But a cheeky wide gets that hit. Oops. Aw, yep. Always gotta be careful when you commit to a basic. Oh, and I... Yep, and that's, when I'm playing other characters, I might think I could just rush past that with the posted invuln, but depth is slow enough that you really have to be careful about those types of gambits. Yep. Okay. Oops. Aw, nibbled the waffle. I'm probably playing a bit too aggressively here. Aw. I have to calibrate my movement better. Okay. Aw. Yeah, if I'm playing as Frost, I'll clear all of those. Maybe I'll rematch that. See if I can do that better. Oh wait, but I know that was the last one.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm not in any hurry. Honestly, I might just throw up a matchmaking lobby later anyway.
I'll use the diamond dash kicker on that one. That's good. Okay, got a better call on shotgun there. Ah, yep. I basically have to deal with these diamonds better. Is what it comes down to.
I guess we were technically under 2 hours in 10 best of 5 matches. I did go relatively
In 2 hours?
quickly.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's gonna be a hopefully short upload to YouTube then.
Aw. Diamonds with def move speed. Okay, what do I have to get used to then?
For those of you watching, would you want the music that's used for S3? You want me to just throw that in a big old playlist and make it public? Or would you rather just be surprised by music that comes on? Because there's kind of stuff from all different genres for all different sorts of things. Also, Axum, once again, a big thank you for all of your song contributions as well.
Oh, of course. I always think that I won't have any more, and then I have some bursts of inspiration that I do. It's funny.
I hope that more people send in song recommendations. Please send me song recommendations.
Yeah, do you get a lot from different people, or
No.
oh no, like crowding the pool too much? All right, I'll return to lobby so you can hop in.
Okay. There are a few that have, but we could always use more, because otherwise it's just me finding things that I think that you all would like. It's time to press buttons.
Some very long-range battling there. Interesting.
I can't read through that. Never mind.
Yeah, when you see long-range play from Hood, you'll probably see Sun using a lot more diamonds. But keeping the diamonds up against all of the kunai pressure can be tricky. Although it is doable. Sun does have a very generous recast window for diamonds. And I've seen players like Horai continuously cash diamonds for very long periods, while dodging even laser kunai, basic kunai combinations. Which is always impressive to see.
was a little too close for comfort.
Nice work closing it out.
The theory that kunais are the actual character. Hood is just, her job is to back up kunais and make sure they do their job.
Kunai Overseer.
Honestly.
So that makes Hood an air traffic controller, basically.
Basically.
An air traffic controller who's trying to cause collisions.
Yes. He enjoys the chaos.
Oh, some narrow dodging there. Very nice. Yeah, thanks for joining for some bonus rounds, Ika.
I like the style of Sun. Sure. He's a fun character to play against, too, honestly.
Yeah, I'd say that for both Hood and Sun. Just because they're so dodge heavy, they're you could say there's a certain like honesty about having to play against them.
Yeah. They both kind of got the same game plan. It's like a Ditto, except fun. The Hood mirror is not.
Yeah, Hood Sun's a fun matchup.
Haven't played against Celie in quite a while. Oh, I see. It's
Time to brave the storm. Oh, no worries. I already did. I can't even dodge diamonds while I'm commentary. That's how hard it is to do both for this game.
second to last. Yeah,
I respect the attempt there. I think that was maybe a theoretically possible dodge. Yeah, gotta keep that wide coverage up.
I love trees.
Yeah, it is a lot for Storm to dodge against Hood, especially if they're trying to commit to walls. Because it means you won't be moving around as much. And so you have to be careful about when you're not moving so that you don't let too much pressure pile up.
That's a very good melee. I didn't expect that.
The intimidation wide. Oh, I see a gap opening up, but that's tiny. Yeah.
Time, yeah.
I don't blame you for the vanish there.
Oh, good coverage there.
It's like, what? Tap basically fired at that angle? Yeah, I've been there.
Oh no, the music stopped. Oh no.
The music stopped just as Clone was cast out. Series of unfortunate events.
Oh, no, it's back. Never mind. Good.
Okay. I think another thing is, in order to wall effectively a storm, you usually want to be moving a little bit forward in between the charge basics, and that can be pretty intimidating to do against Hood, especially if moving forward means there's like a kunai launcher right in your path or something like that. Yeah, there are certainly times I wind up going for a melee gambit here or there, playing storming into Hood. But walling is still possible. You just have to be careful about positioning, where you're setting up. And really keeping in mind the timing of the kunai launchers will help you a lot, because you'll know when you need a burst of movement to misdirect them. It's kind of like when you're playing Storm against Sun and you have to know when and where to commit to a charge basic. You don't want to do it when a Sunburst is right on top of you. So sometimes you'll do a bit of a dodge first and then charge one up. Oh, Celie going in there.
I won't let
Forcing
you
an
take this
advantage
out on
though,
me.
so.
Oh, never mind. Yes, I will.
The wide layering.
Wide. Just a little too jittery on the melee approach there.
Yeah, that was the very wide moment where standing still actually was the right call. Because when you see a bunch layering up like that, it can be a tricky call.
Way too soon.
And that was a tricky time dodge also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not when you were like an empty space on my screen, so I don't even know.
Yeah, I was not touching that one. That's okay. Just means I need to dodge better. This.
Barely clips.
Adopt a little bit of a more aggressive playstyle and see if it works.
Mhm.
Doesn't seem to be so far, but we'll see what happens.
I think I wonder what Storm's doing too. And I think like when Storm's starting to play closer and do melee basic stuff, you have to be careful.
Did you see what hit me there, by any chance?
Oh, no, in that moment I looked away for a brief second, so... In cases like that, I assume wide. But I don't actually know. Oh, thank you, Tap Basic. Or maybe that was slightly charged, but still.
This is good Storm experience, too.
Mhm.
Did you want to hop in? I'm sorry, I don't know how many...
Oh, it's fine. You can do this one, then I can hop in if you want.
Don't mean to be hogging the bat, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. Like I'm expert level, so I don't want to be bullying beginners after after a round robin tournament anyway.
I want to play this match.
Oh, the red mirror. All right, hood mirror rather.
This is my worst matchup. Period.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that during the crew battle, so I just. I guess not every hood likes playing the mirror actually. Now that you mention it, because I wound up playing a lot of that.
Okay, so one thing about the hood mirror is it's like the Wyrm mirror. You do not want to burn Vanish first.
Oh, it's funny. Whenever I play this mirror, I wind up like never using Vanish, and then in hindsight, I'm like, wait, I could have used Vanish like in those tough situations. But I just go into like full Jirara mode and try to dodge everything.
Especially if you don't space them out, you can just redirect all of them. And it does absolutely nothing.
I'll do some more randoming. See, this is good commentary and play at the same time practice. So I may as well get a bit of that in.
I think I should have been talking more.
No, that's fine. Oh, Def into Lich is going to be tricky. Okay. Oh, I almost didn't get that because of the attack lock on wide. Oh. Oh, I went into the inner ring there. That's not good. Okay, well, let's just try to take control of center so we don't get any large flower shenanigans looping back on that. Make sure to... See, I'm commentating and paying attention to the butterfly order.
Oh.
That's going to be one of the hardest things. Okay, so that's going to be kind of big. That's okay, it's kind of off-center.
Licorice jelly beans? What a bad boy.
Oh, I should have done the burst the basic instead. Okay, got a cheeky wide hit in. I think I'm on my last hit though, so I have to be careful here. Okay, thankfully that worked. I have to be careful not to get caught out by that as Lich if you've already used flower. Oh, why did I do that? And that was probably a waste also. Oh well. That flower is a bit offset, so we still have some time. We won't get walled into it. Trying to get a clean basic here. Oh, okay, that was close. But sometimes you have to have faith that shotgun will land first. Oh, I got eaten by the flower. Okay. I can live with that. Oh, yeah, see, like if it didn't hit, that butterfly would have gotten me, so yeah, you have to be very careful with your timing. Oh, jeez, okay. Like butterflies, then I run straight into a wide. Let's get that into center. Oh, got a cheeky expansion hit there.
I wanted to
Oh, just barely.
For the intermissions too. Yeah, I was not expecting to take little mini breaks there, but I had like four, I had like 4
don't worry
cups
about
of
those.
coffee.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. I tried to fill out the air a bit reading the chat log while you're doing that, so no worries.
Appreciate
Well,
it.
all good commentary practice for my end. So
It's true.
okay, well that
Right.
death match was stressful. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, it's okay. I think Rem is gonna try and get in the commentary too.
Oh, Ram in the box. Nice. Oh, hey, I get to play Wyrm against Frost.
Oh, let's go. Oh, wrong end though. Never mind.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm okay playing it from this side. I'll probably do worse in commentary, but I'm actually fine with this.
So
I played it.
What's 2 plus 3?
Definitely 7.
All right, you're doing great so far.
Yep.
7 times 2.
Now, to be fair, that's probably the answer Wyrm would give too. No, I'm not. I kid. I'm sorry, Wyrm.
The world's greatest monarch, truly.
Yeah, playing Wyrm against Frost, you have to get used to weaving in and out of Frost basic while using laser a lot of time. So you'll be doing a lot of micro. Oops.
The same is true in the Hood Frost matchup, honestly.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
down to the lasers.
Alright, a bit off on the timing. Some good dead zoning there. Very nice. Oh, that gives me an opportunity to... Oh, and of course I screwed that up. Oh, but I get a wide mix-up hit. For that, force the rollout. Now what I should be doing is going for vertical lasers. Because those take up quite a bit of space once you get to main walls. But I think because of those hits, the walls expanded back out a bit again. Okay, be very careful here. Remember my min wall against Javara training. Oops. Aw, not quite enough. Honestly, considering I'm commentating at the same time, I'm doing far better than I would expect to. Oh, they committed a bit too close to the stun wave and rolled the wrong direction. I think maybe if they rolled left, they still would have gotten out. Now, something that... kind of over-fancied right back into the diamond there. Something that you can try doing is... Oh, that's unfortunate. I still wound up using the Adobe Fire. Avoided the stun wave, though. Something that could be good to do as Wyrm if you can maintain the focus for it is to go in close. Because if you can micro Frost Basic at closer ranges, then you can get close basic fans in. And those can be hard to dodge for Frost also.
You don't have to worry as much about the spreads, too.
Mm-hmm. Of course, I would encourage anybody who's having trouble dodging Frost Basic for long periods to just go to Roxy's guide and look at the exact patterns, so that you know which projectiles are diverging, which are converging. That can help you a lot, knowing how you should be dodging at what distances from Frost. Yeah, Roxy's guide is really good. And of course, you don't have to read it all at once. You can treat it more as a reference and just dip into the parts that you need. One thing that's kind of comfy playing Wyrm into Frost is that she does have the move speed to just macro a lot. So if you're not in a comfortable situation, you can kind of just move around right up until mid walls. And the mid walls you'll have to start doing more marking for sure. Okay, so I've beaten Frost as Wyrm while commentating. So I can still maintain my opinion that it's not a terrible matchup for Wyrm, maybe.
Would that hold up in a court of law?
Depends on who's the judge, I guess. The Death Mirror? Oh no. Okay. This didn't go too well for me going against Yuppie in the random select. So I'll have to be very careful about my cooldown usage.
Yes, the Christmas matchup.
Yep. Hood and Depth, the two characters that are allowed at Christmas time. Okay, I'm gonna punish that cheeky shotgunning. Oh, I was too late. Whenever I see Depth do more than like 3 or 4 shotgun blasts, I always want to punish it somehow.
We should run a Christmas tournament for only green and red characters.
Only green and red, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. It'd be funny.
I guess default Storm too, since she kind of looks snowy a little bit.
Oh, kind of, yeah. She's just throwing giant snowballs.
That's true.
Oh, I was worried about a second shotgun there. Okay. Ah, okay. And that's why cooldown usage is so important in this matchup. I don't know if this is correct, but sometimes it reminds me of the Wyrm matchup in that you don't want to be the first Depth to use a thing. Like Jellycat, for instance. Oh, okay. Oh, their basic came out before mine did. Unfortunate. Oh, okay. Shocking came out first. Oh, I was too cheeky. Saw me coming in and got the wide in first. Oh, okay. That was a timely Jellycat. Okay, use that to get past. Yes, I really don't have much experience in this matchup, so I apologize for lack of strategy commentary. Oops. Yeah, I should have waited for that to burst. Okay. One of those matchups I'm still learning. Oh, almost hit that stray wide. That would have been annoying. Oh, I should have burst that before the second shotgun. There are so many high sight moments when you're playing as Depth. What? Oh, there was Jellycat, okay. Like, how did they go through shotgun? Should be cheeky, should be cheeky. Oh, okay. Probably should have used a wide at some point in that combination. Okay, shotgun versus shotgun. Yeah, that matchup is funny. I don't dislike it though, it's actually kind of fun. Trying to think about what the heck I should even be doing.
Alright, so have I asked you the consistency question yet for Jellycat?
Oh, it's Jello.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know if you asked me, but that's my answer.
Oh, I see.
But I know this has been a question that has been asked
It's important.
in the annals of MNS history. Frost into Lich. Okay. Probably not going to be quite focused enough on this while commentating, but I'll try to deny the center flower. Although, as soon as Lich takes a hit, they can always just go in and set one up, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Alright, what's 9 times 3?
What was the first number?
9?
Oh, then it's definitely 9.
Okay.
I was thinking about making a 9 as the strongest number joke there, but I was too focused. Oh, maybe they're expecting the diamond for that one, but I swapped to a unfocused basic. Wow. Okay. Some tricky butterfly dodging there. I would say if you're playing Lich against Frost, you want to probably maintain a center screen flower if you can, because that'll prevent Frost from bullying you into melee situations, which you don't want as Lich because she's the slowest moving character. So if you make Frost play Ring Around the Rosie with you all game, it can be very hard for Frost to deal with. It does mean you have to do some tricky micros Lich, but it is doable, and if you can maintain that center flower all the way up to mid walls, it can feel pretty bad from Frost's perspective. Oh, and a Wyrm Bearer. Okay. So I'll try to demo not playing this too aggressively.
You got one more match after this, and then I'm gonna go to the shop.
Okay, sounds good. It can be hard to disengage safely from a Wyrm that wants to do that zone dance with you.
Yeah.
Paying attention to the angles is very important, and there are times I honestly just focus directly on the opposing Wyrm so that I get a better sense of when they're going to use a wide, which I did see there, but then of course I backed up at the wrong time, right back into it.
For whoever's watching, if you play Red Hood against Wyrm, if you can safely like get in and start hugging Wyrm, it's a genuinely decent option. You have to watch out for no-B fire, but you can get away from no-B fire on reaction just running away. Your move speed is fast enough.
That's true. You just have to be careful.
Burn vanish.
You just have to be careful not to overcommit to a basic at the wrong time, because that's the one thing that'll slow you down.
Yeah, so honestly, hugging Wyrm and putting down wides and unfocused kunai. And then mixing it up with the focused kunai or two, because unfocused kunai, their hitboxes stay out for a while before they actually fire. So you can use them as almost like little mines. And Wyrms will instinctively want to get away from your wide, so you can have them lead you into an area where your wide isn't, and put down another wide, and then you've got more coverage. And then if they counter hug you, you run into your own wide. And the process repeats itself. But if you are hugging Wyrm, you want to stay away from basic, because if you're in range where basic will hit, like if Wyrm's far enough away from you that she's not inside your dead zone, you are in range of things that you do not want to be in range in.
Yeah, managing the exact range is important.
Wide. Or worse.
Storm Wyrm. We've been seeing a lot of this lately too. Oh, I shouldn't have committed to a charge there. Oh well. That means that we can do some meleeing of our own, or... Okay, cheeky clone hit. Ooh, okay. Glad I timed that well. Oh, I thought he was flashed up? I guess it was a bit late in my button press. Oh, and a very unintentional wide. I'm so sorry. I was actually going in for a melee basic there, but that's a storm moment.
I do this. I'm sorry to say, but your timing is not quite impeccable at the moment. This is our last match before we close up shop in the stream. I'm gonna open up another lobby, but I've got to shut the stream down after this one.
Well, at least force the no-B fire there. Oh, unintentional wide hit. Oh, that was a close one. Wait for that laser to pass. Okay. Yeah, very important to try to get the right charge amount to punish that newbie fire usage when it's defensive. Something else you can do if those lasers are getting in the way of your walling is you can use a flash step to avoid the last one. And that allows you to charge a bit more than you'd otherwise be able to. Of course, it means it'll be down for the next, 13 seconds. So be judicious, but it can help. Like over there. Narrowly avoiding that wide afterward, of course. Okay, this is definitely not a bad place for Storm to be. Very good inevitability, in my opinion, at mid-walls with these charge basic. Oh, I think Flash Step is still down. Okay. Well, that's on me for not paying attention to my own cooldowns. Oh, I got caught by the edge of that. Alright, good game, Celie. Always nice to do some random select.
Strongest. I feel like Wyrm's favorite food would be soup, and I don't know why. It just makes sense.
Hearty soup?
Just soup.
Just any kind.
Any kind.
I see.
Like really thin, like broth. She just drinks broth.
Power broth potion.
I guess. Alrighty, so we are going to shut the stream down now.
Yeah,
So-
thanks again for showing up, everyone. It was a fun tournament. It's nice to see these round robin formats, so everyone gets to play a bunch of people.
Yeah, ideally I'd like to do another beginner round robin at some point, whether or not it's under the S3 label. Maybe as like a spin-off, a super spell spin-off, foreshadowing.
S4. S4. Super
S4.
Spell Sunday spinoff.
Oh, you're right.
How far can we push the alliteration?
Well, for October, I was going to do Super Spooky Season, so we could do Super Spell Sundays spin-off Super Spooky Season.
That's what, S8? Very nice.
S7, I think. Super
7? Aw.
Yeah. Wait, is it? Yes. Yes. It's 7. And I even made like a special like waiting room screen for it. But then Halloween rolled around and nothing happened. So it'll
But you have it in reserve.
It's in the wings. It's for next year. Well, I'll use
You
it
can
next
u-
year.
You can use it for Christmas and then like have the Christmas one in like February. Just to throw everyone off.
Yeah, definitely. Oh gosh. It had like a spinning skull and everything. Like a really crappy like artifice gif of a rotating skull.
It's like those shimmying Friendlies that Illy has on their videos
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking
with spinning
of
skulls.
speaking of skulls though. All right. One for the record. All right. Yes, once again, thank you all for participating. We didn't get a massive turnout, but the turnout that we did get was really entertaining to watch, and I hope you all got some good experience out of it. I hope you all had fun, first and foremost. That's really what it's all about. And yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for your playing, and you all have a great day, and take care of yourselves and each other, and be safe. And goodbye.